Hello and welcome to another season of the Hong Kong Racing Show. Andrew Brown and Alex Evers coming to you from beautiful Del Mar, the home of this year's World Championships. And as the summer meet begins to wrap up here at the Seaside Oval, we couldn't be more excited about the Hong Kong racing season, the new Hong Kong racing season getting started at Sha Tin this Saturday night, North American time. And of course, the world's best sprinter, Ka Ying Rising, will be in action. How you doing, Alex?
Doing well. It's literally one of my favorite days of the year. We wrap up Del Mar. It's been a long 8 weeks. We get NFL season starting, and we get Sha Tin all within 24 hours of each other. So it's going to be a great day, and we get Ka Ying Rising to start the season, which, how great is that?
Oh, it's outstanding. What a way to start the season. So we finish up here at Del Mar around about 7 p.m. and then the first race, 7 p.m. Pacific, I should say, first race coming to us from Sha Tin at 10 p.m. Pacific. Ka Ying Rising at 11 p.m. Pacific. That's 2 a.m. Eastern. I think there's going to be people staying awake right across the country to watch the world's best sprinter in action. There's always a lot of focus on the season opener at Sha Tin, but I feel like this year it's even more heightened.
Absolutely, and I can't remember a season opening where you have a star horse like Ka Ying Rising. You lose carrying 131, it's going to set him up super well, at least for me, to get into the Everest and prep him up perfectly. He's had the trials. He's had the trial last weekend at 1,000 meters up the straight. He looked incredible.
He did.
He looks wonderful, and I think the fans around the world are going to be excited to see this horse. And I think, like Tim said last year, Tim, the guy named Tom. Tim was so hyped up on him, and it's all coming to fruition. Yeah. And I think we're going to see that on Sunday.
Well, that's right, because this time last year, we were excited about the return of Ka Ying Rising in the season opener, but haven't things changed when you fast forward 12 months? He's now strung 12 consecutive wins together. This past season, undefeated. It included 4 grade ones, in fact, group ones. I've got to get into the group the group one mindset once again. He broke a track record more than once. Horse of the year. The accolades and the CV has just continued to build, and now of course we've got this race as he builds towards the Everest in Sydney in around about 6 weeks time, so it's just really exciting.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have to be keeping track of it. Is he going to break Silent Witness's record? Golden 60
That's
fell
right.
one short, unfortunately, but I think this one's got a great chance, and it's going to be interesting though, seeing that Everest in the middle of that. That's going to be the big trial for him, is if he can get past that one, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And I know a lot of people in Australia are thinking, oh, he's finally going to come and take on some real competition, and there could be the threat of a wet track and all that kind of stuff. But if you remember when we spoke to David Hayes around Champions time, I think it was, he said, bring on the rain.
Yeah, he was quick to correct me that the horse loves a wet track, which is awesome. So no chinks in the armor, it looks like. We'll see if the 135 and the weight disparity. I think to one of the rivals with Brittany on it, he carries a 30-pound weight difference, which is, for us in America, we're not used to seeing that type of disparity in the weights, but I don't think it's going to make a difference with him.
It's unbelievable. I should have mentioned that coming up very shortly, we're going to take a look at the field for Ka Ying Rising's race in just a second, but coming up very shortly, our special guest on today's show, right here at Del Mar, is going to be joining us very soon, Umberto Rispoli, the former Hong Kong rider who's just been having a phenomenal year here in the United States of America as well. So we're really looking forward to chatting to Umberto. But let's have a look at the field for the Chief Executives Cup here at Sha Tin on Saturday night. As you mentioned, he's looked sensational, Ka Ying Rising, in his morning training in that recent barrier trial. If you have a look at the field, it's not going to be a walk in the park for him though, is it?
No.
It might be a Class 1, but there's plenty of Group 1 performers and a multiple Group 1 winner in the field in Lucky Swainess too, Alex. Ka Ying Rising, as you mentioned, he's going to carry the top weight, 135 pounds. He starts from post 4 with regular rider Zach Purton aboard. Looking at his competition, we've got Lucky Swainess, only had the 2 starts last season as he was returning from injury. Hasn't won since last June or July in the Sprint Cup. The question remains as to whether he'll be able to bounce back to his best. We've got Lucky with you in the race, number 3, who's third to Ka Ying Rising, 3 back, and has been trialling well, runs well fresh. Number 4, Beauty Waves, second in this race last year behind Ka Ying Rising, finished last season with back-to-back wins. He could be possibly the biggest danger with Alexi Bedell up. Raging Blizzard, Magic Control, Harmony and Blessed, all good horses capable of running big races here. But Alex, can any of them pose a threat to Ka Ying Rising? What do you think?
Well, it was interesting. There's the interview with Zach on an Australian radio show. He was just talking about the speed on in that race. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting in that aspect with a lot of them wanting to go forward. But to me, he looks like he's so fit and he's so ready. So I don't think that the 135 will be an issue, even though he's so much more talented than these horses on their best day. I just picture him getting a dream run out of barrier 4 and Zach knows what he's doing. Zach will keep him out of trouble, and he's, again, it's to get to the Everest. It's not necessarily to win this race, but I just think he's so much more talented than the rest of them, even on their best days, and maybe not his best day. He should be able to get the job done.
We've seen that incredible turn of foot that he can produce in these races, whether it be over the 6 furlongs, the 1,200 metres, or the 7 furlongs around the 1,400 metres. So he's just already defeated most of the horses in this field. He looks like he's been training sensationally. That barrier trial looks like he's already kind of back to 80%, 90%. So I agree. I think he's just going to be too good in this race. And then it's onwards and upwards to the Everest. I believe he travels to Australia on late September, and he's got a trial at Randwick on October 7. So he'll actually do a barrier trial at Randwick on October 7 on the track that he'll be contesting the Everest on in mid-October. So it's really, really exciting stuff, and I can't wait.
Yeah, and you have to imagine Hazy's knowing that he was going to carry 135 pounds in this weight with the Class 1 system there, you'd have to imagine he's got his fitness at an all-time high to kind of start this off. Maybe one trial better than what you normally would to carry that kind of weight, knowing that the Everest is the goal in a month's time after that.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was interesting, that radio conversation that you listened to with Zach Purton on the other day. That was with RSN and SEN in Australia. And I tell you what, we should ask Umberto Rispoli about what Zach said on that too when he joins us in just a couple of moments. And in fact, I can see Umberto making his way over now. So we're going to take a quick break and get him set up. We'll invite him onto the set. In the meantime, enjoy this little promo video of Ka Ying Rising that the Hong Kong jockey media team put together, and we'll see you in about 30 seconds.
But he just keeps rising and rising. His name, Ka Ying Rising. He won the Premier Bowl.
Well, as promised, we are delighted to be joined by one of the hottest jockeys in America at the moment. And I'm not just talking about how good he looks there in his sunglasses sitting here in the sunshine at Del Mar. I'm talking about how sensationally he's been riding. Former Hong Kong rider Umberto Rispoli. What's up, Umberto?
How are you guys?
Good.
We are good. We are pumped for the start of the Hong Kong racing season. We've just been talking about Ka Ying Rising. Before we talk about your season and your summer and the year that you've been having, Umberto, I imagine you've been following this horse with a lot of interest over in Hong Kong. It looks to be a once-in-a-generation kind of sprinter. What do you love about Ka Ying Rising?
Well, I think obviously, as all the world has a high on this horse, it's the highest rating horse in the world right now. It's the #1 horse in the world. Definitely Hong Kong, haven't seen this before with a silent witness, as kind of a champion like that. But definitely this horse to make it special. I think it's a real good job by David Hayes managing this horse in a proper way, and obviously, find the right races, give him the right time, the right step between races. I think he built a really a machine, a horse machine. So I'm really interested to see this season how much better it is compared to last season.
Yeah, for sure.
He's only 4 last year too. He's got so much room to grow and get better and bigger and stronger.
Yeah, Alex thinks he's going to break Silent Witness's record this season. We wanted to ask you, we were just discussing that Zach Purton was on Australian radio during the week, and he mentioned Winx and maybe the easy time that Winx got with Huey Bowman during her career, and that the jockeys might have just thrown her a bone a little bit because they wanted to see her win. But it's a completely different story in Hong Kong, and that all of those jockeys on Saturday night in Ka Ying Rising's race are going to be out to win. Can you take us into the mindset of a jockey in a race such as that that's not riding Ka Ying Rising?
Well, obviously in your mind you would see, if you don't ride him, you say how I can beat him. But it's all about, most of the time it's tough. It depends what type of horses you have to ride, how the race can come up, how much pressure he could have from to go into the lead. But most of the time somebody knows then if you go with him you would probably get tired at the top of the stretch. So it's it's complicated, from a horse. Then in the position of Zach, then you are on the best horse, and no matter what you jump, the horse knows what to do. You're full of confidence. You ride just the happiest man in the world. Once the gate crash and you're a length in front to say, okay, I'm good. So that's the point when the start is very important, especially a place like Hong Kong. But as we know, Silent Witness, he got beat once he was getting on further in the distance. On the short distance, nobody was good as he was.
Yep. Yeah. Alex, Lucky Sweynesse. Do you think Lucky Sweynesse at his best could have at least been competitive with Ka Ying Rising?
At his best, yes. I think now he's probably a step behind. He's probably lost a step with the injuries and stuff. I just hope he gets across there safely. And he's a really talented horse in his own right.
Yeah.
If the pace is on, I just don't know if the weight disparity is enough to help him out on Sunday.
I mean, place like Hong Kong, it's tricky. It's the first race of the season back. Good horses. Look at the trial. It looks like
It was ridiculous. But let's go video game.
He's ready. The difference is, when you put every horses in the trial, the only trainer then I can see during the years there, then he can make such a difference between the trial and the race is John Size.
Yeah.
John Size, you don't know.
Yep.
You don't know. It's a question mark. It's like you go, you work at the horse on the trial, you finish 25 lengths behind, race day you 25 lengths in front. So that's how special and such a great trainer John Size is it.
Yeah, he won another premiership last year. Gosh, just keeps breaking records, although he tends to start a little slow. I think he was 10 or 15 wins behind them.
I want to say one thing about John Size. Until October, November, and then the beginning of December, you don't see him at the top. He's always absent, and then it's unbelievable.
He just takes off. Umberto, before we talk a little bit about your season in summer, there's a couple of new jockeys as well in the Hong Kong riding ranks this season. David Probert and Richard Kingscote from the UK, so a lot of interest from the UK now in Hong Kong racing. Can you give us an idea about what they'd be going through at the moment as they head into their first full-time season in Hong Kong, and maybe what expectations they should put on themselves and stuff like that? It must be tough, right?
Look, from my experience, I can just wish them all the best. They know how hard the place is, from hearing, but you don't never know until you try how tough it is on your skin. It's a place then it tests you real. Hopefully for them, they could get a winner right away. That's what makes make the season goes for you. So you really need to strike the first couple of weekends, which is not easy, because obviously you're asking for the horses the one you want to ride, but obviously we don't need to hide ourselves. Zach is going to get the first call with the Yugi, with Andrea, with the Caris. So that's the top 4 or 5 riders. Like every season, they get the first call. But as we know, Zaka can only ride one horse, and Yugi for the same, and same for the others. But it's going to be a really test for them. It's going to be different. Richard already had his short experience. He quit Hong Kong winning some races, so he's putting himself a step ahead of David. But they are work hard guys. In England they travel all the year around, they're hard workers, so I think they're gonna hope for them. They're gonna enjoy the time over there.
How hard is it to learn that handicap system and figure out the horses when you get over there? Like, is it a pretty big learning curve to sort it all out?
Definitely, it's hard to learn, but at the same time, what makes it special, how to learn the system in Hong Kong, it's like Alex, the website they have it. It's just, I think it's the most complete website of horse racing in the world. You know already what weight your horse is going to get into the race, so you're already mentally prepared how handicapping races. And for them, then they come from England, which there is an handicap system. It's way easy. So I think it's big advantage for them for that.
HKJC.com, that website that Umberto is referring to. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about what you've been up to since you were last on this show. It's been a while, believe it or not. I think it was after the Santa Anita Derby, if my memory serves us correctly. You joined us from Lexington, where you were there for a couple of rides. And Umbi, what a year you've had. If you go through and look at your graded stakes wins, 4 grade 1s, 6 grade 2s, another 4 grade 3s, but of course the headline act has been journalism and the incredible journey that you've been on with this horse this season. Of all the years that you've been riding, and we've still got 4 months left of the season as well,
sure.
Where would you put this year in comparison to other years that you've been riding in the saddle?
You know, so far I can say I think it's the top year I have. And definitely, you know, it's tough when you say that after 20 years of your career, because when you watch jockeys like Ryan Moore, Frankie, William, you know, every year they raise the bar. Obviously, you know, they are in different position where Coolmore and Godolphin are such the hugest industry we have in the world. So you have a good horses coming every year. So for me, it's been a hell of the year. Find this horse last year. Put me in a situation where riding good races, comparing myself, even compete to myself, you know, how to handle pressure in the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont, and all the journey I've been doing with this horse. So I'm grateful to Aaron Wellman, the partners, Michael McCarthy, you know, to such a nice opportunity. And you know, as I always said in the previous interview, Andrew, I'm glad that this opportunity comes when, you know, I'm already experienced. You know, when sometimes when you're young, you can misjudge something. You handle the pressure different. But this horse, I mean, it comes in our life because he's been the horse of the people for all the campaign. He's been special for me, for my family, for my wife, for my kids, for all the environment around me. So definitely is the top years of my life so far. So hopefully, we have still 4 months to go, one big race to run. So let's keep the finger crossed.
You also got Mr. Domar, formidable man.
Yeah.
He loves it down here more than you do. It looks
Absolutely. I mean, he improves so well in the last couple of years. It's funny because I remember when he was 2, and he was at the same time of Endlessly. Endlessly was a better horse. But I do remember then one morning I tell Michael, I say, I think this horse is going to win a Grade 1 before this one. He said, you really think so? I say, yeah, I think I can see something different in this horse. He was just too much anxious when he was a baby, 2 years old, 3 years old. He always used to sweat. Now it's a different horse, and he loves here. Yeah. He loves here. You know, I can't also, I had him. I do not really have a good filly on the turf this year, and the dirt. I would say I've been lucky then. I partnership with the Medoro. I think is going to be probably, if everything goes well, is going to be my filly to go into the Breeders' Cup. Fillies and mare. She's going to run the JB here, maybe here. So hopefully she's going to turn in a good filly, and I can't wait to see Johannes back after what happened. Obviously in Saratoga there was it was a messy race, but we're going to regroup. He's going to probably appoint to the City of Hope, Santa Anita. There's a win and you in, and then after, you know, am I going to make a choice between him and Formidable Man?
That's going to be tough.
I
don't want to ask you that.
I always say, you know, it's better to have a choice to don't have it. So, but you know, let's go one step at a time.
Yeah. Formidable Man, horse of the meet, you think, here at Del Mar?
Well, I think he has to be.
Yeah.
He has to be. Look, I think he ran twice. The summer at Del Mar, and obviously, you know, 2 nice performances. You know, winning the 2 races. There is some horses that you don't know for each reason they really like here. So I'm also glad that then I got a win on Dr. Beckman, you know, which put him in a spot for the Breeders' Cup. So I'm trying to build my army for the Breeders' Cup, which is not going to be easy, obviously, with all the Euros came in, and not only them, even with the Japanese horses ready to rumble. So honestly speaking with you, once the Armada is over, you can't wait for Breeders' Cup. That's one of the most beautiful meetings in the world, no doubt about it. It's an international meeting. So. And
it's so awesome that it's back here at Del Mar too. Just such a great place for the Breeders' Cup. It'll be, it's the 4th year that it's being held here, 2017, 2021 last year, and then this year. You mentioned Johannes coming back in the City of Light at Santa Anita. Is there any hope? I know we're talking about a potential trip to Hong Kong for Johannes. Is that still on the cards as far as you're aware, or are we just sort of trying to get to the Breeders' Cup at this stage?
Look, last year definitely, you know, he started his campaign pretty early, so he had a really tough campaign and tough beat, I would say. And I don't think he should really deserve that beat in the Breeders' Cup mile. Nothing to take away with a great rider to Jose and more than looks, but you know, that horse won one big race that year. Was the one matter. So, but it was a tough beat. You know, when you take away Notable Speech, you know, at the 16 pole, I thought I have it, and then you know,
I thought you had it too.
But you know, that's horse racing. Hopefully, you know, I think the City of Hope would tell us more where condition-wise is, and I still believe that he's the same horse of last year. You know, that trip to Saratoga was just a mess from the gate. Once they come up at races like that, you don't really. He's coming back after a long layoff. It's a grade 1. A lot of horses they already run a couple of times. So no matter how good the field could be, you know, you faces good horses, training by good trainers and ridden by good jockeys. So hopefully it was just, you know, I would say a race. Then obviously we need to forget about it, and from the City of Hope we're gonna know more about that. But definitely I would love to take him to Hong Kong for sure.
Awesome. Well, we're really looking forward to seeing
Take on
him back.
Voyage Bubble.
Yeah.
Why not?
At Santa Anita in a few weeks' time for Johannes. That's return.
My Voyage Bubble is gonna go to the Cup this year.
You think so? Against Romantic Warrior? That'd be a good race.
I mean,
that'd be a really good race.
I mean, you know, horses when they get in hold, they don't mind it to have a few meters underneath more, you know. And then it depends how, in which way they're training. You know, obviously you don't want to. Romantic Warrior has a tough campaign, so he needs to come back.
Yeah, and he's coming off the injury too.
So you know, if you don't take him now,
yeah,
when you're gonna take, you know, you have to take the chance right now. So
he took him down to the line in the Cup 2 years ago too. It was a good race.
Yeah,
he's so versatile, isn't he? I mean, gosh, what he did last season, just unbelievable.
I never would have thought when he won the Derby that he would do what he did.
Yeah,
I thought that was like the biggest fluke race when he came from 14 with Alexi. I was like, yeah, we'll never see that again. And then he's turned out to be this massive triple crown champion.
And phenomenal to think that in any other year, I think he would have been a layup for Horse of the Year in Hong Kong, but he comes up against Romantic Warrior and, of course, Ka Ying Rising, who gets the Horse of the Year. So have you heard of any other potential American horses that might be going to HKIR? I know that Gold Phoenix is likely to be nominated or invited.
That's you. You got to put in a word for that.
Yeah, you should tell us. You work with Leonard Feather. We don't do that.
I just take pictures, brother.
Well, I mean, what a horse. He's been 4 straight Del Mar handicaps, so there's a lot of chat about maybe that race should be...
You're right there.
No, I have a story with that horse. Then if I tell the story with that horse, we're going to stay here for 2 days. It's so fun. I've been riding that horse. One time I had him, even a chance to ride him the other day. Because I remember when the horse ran with a Kyle the other day.
Yeah, in the mile.
I was walking up after the tunnel, and Billy come up to me and say, "It's your horse for the Del Mar handicap." I said, So you know what? I say, I don't know. Talk to Matt about it. I'm not sure about that. I mean, that performance doesn't really make me thinking that he could have won the Del Mar handicap again.
No, he ran flat in the mile.
I know it's not a miler, you know, but at the same time, you know, you give him races in the belly, running back an Australian way. 2 weeks later, you know, in the Del Mar handicap, you know, it's a mile and 3/8. So. My horse is built to go mile and 3/8, and I think it's a good quality horse. He's coming for a long layoff, but listen, he's gone, so what are you going to do?
There's actually some very interesting jockey cam footage that
the jockey cam photo, that's wild. You were like on Flavian, right,
right
next to him.
And
I mean, I was
screaming as
well.
You
I know.
Hear it. Here we go!
I was trying to make my move, then I always like to do a Del Mar, moving from the half mile pole to go. But obviously, horse like a true quality is too big. You can't really make him go. You know, it's not that quick. So I was trying to anticipate. Obviously, the target was Gold Phoenix. Try to make the jump on him, and all of a sudden, when my horse just get to him, he started to lean on him. That's the time I started screaming. But I knew it then. I'm pretty sure then. You know, after the wire, Flavian look at me and say, "Thanks, you put me in the winning circle," because I push him. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be outside. He would have probably get beat.
Ah, that's so interesting.
So,
right. Well, so Gold, look, if he goes to Hong Kong, it could be a ride for you. I don't know if Flavian Pratt's going to be there, but we have heard, Alex and I, rumours, and I know that you're not going to be able to confirm this one way or another because the official announcement doesn't come out for a couple of months' time, Umberto. But we've heard some racetrack rumours, haven't we, Alex? That there is
your speculations.
Everyone at the racetrack's got rumours.
That there is a chance that we could see Umberto Rispoli back in Hong Kong for IJC at some point in the near future. Can you? I guess you can't confirm one way or another, but if the phone was to ring, would that be something that you'd be interested in, representing the United States, I guess, at IJC?
300%. Not even 100%.
We'll just mix the
300%.
Italian flag and the American flag.
Yeah,
Like me.
you need to carry,
Yeah,
just in case you carry an Italian flag as well. No, listen, I mean, I can't tell you anything about it. Obviously, if the phone is ringing, you know, I will be really, it would be a privilege for me to compete in one. I think it's probably the best jockey challenge in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, how it's organized, you know, it's a happy valley. It's a tight track, competitive races, urban track, you know, just in the middle of the city with those lights. I mean, Alex been there, you guys been there so many times, and it's a charismatic track. And to me, even, you know, to participate that day and staying probably as well for the international racing, you know, will bring me back 6 years ago, when I was there, and it's going to be a good chance for me to see a tons of friends, you know. I always say that Hong Kong is a second house for me. So, and it would be so far. You know, I got such just taking apart, you know, work-wise. But you know, in terms of city and how do you live over there, I really enjoy. You know, my son is raising there 2 years. Kimberly does. She did a school over there, so she had the place in the heart. I know she will take off tomorrow. 100%.
We get Jerry over there too.
100%. But look, as you said, Andrew, if the phone's ringing, you know, I'm not gonna blink an eye. I'm not lying to you.
Awesome. Well, Alex and I will be there, so we'll be really excited if you're there, and hopefully you can show us a few of your.
And then, you know, what is beautiful? It's like you just get in Hong Kong, you finish the IJC, you know, you do your job in the IJC. My winning, who knows? Maybe, you know, running well in one of those big races, you know, on the international day.
Yeah.
And on Monday you are 1 hour from Philippines, so 2.5 hours from Thailand, or an hour from Vietnam. So
a little extra vacation on the back end before Christmas.
Please.
I gotta stay. I gotta stay longer.
Please.
What are we doing flying out on Monday morning?
Guys, you crazy.
I know,
You're crazy.
I know.
No. You know, the facilities of Hong Kong was that. You know, you have those beautiful places.
Oh, it's so good.
Such nice beaches around. You know, you can go enjoy. You have a fresh fish. You know, cut it on the boat. They cook for you there. I mean, honestly, I'm even thinking about if I'm not going to Hong Kong, am I going to go to Thailand for some holidays? Why not? You know, awesome. Gerald has a house down there, so.
Easy for you.
Yeah,
I'll
Jerry. Yeah. Daddy, I need the house. So why not?
It definitely sounds like you can take the boy out of Hong Kong, but you can't take the Hong Kong
out of the boy. No
it's
chance.
Still very much
chance.
on your mind.
No chance.
Look, we may not end up showing this clip because I didn't get your approval beforehand, but just on that, on the fact that Hong Kong is still very much an important part of your heart. Even before the Kentucky Derby, when you were asked to do a little promo line for your sponsor at the time, Twin Spires, it just so happened that you mentioned another famous horse that you used to ride. Take a look at this.
Bet on rulership on Twin Spires.
So who was that you mentioned there, Umbi?
I thought it was artificial intelligence.
Language barrier.
I thought it was that. Do I really do that?
Yes.
Do I really do that?
Yes.
Where it comes from?
I just said you used too many grade 1 winners.
No, because you guys, you know,
were thinking of your celebrations.
You wash my brains too much before the interview. That's why. I can't believe it. Did I really say that? I can't believe that.
I'm gonna say it's AI. I'm gonna say.
Me too. I don't believe that. I
I
can't mistake on that. No.
Yeah, the amazing thing is that I don't think anyone picked up.
Nobody.
And so it just rolled out, and as though you were saying journalism.
I can't believe it. I make such a big mistake like that. I mean, I think it's gonna be my first mistakes in 20 years of interview. I swear. On the biggest day. So they might thinking I wasn't ready to ride the Kentucky Derby.
So
Which
good.
actually was a couple of days before.
Yeah, it was
on
called
Wednesday.
before. It's like a Wednesday.
It was on Wednesday, yeah.
You got anything else for the great man?
No, I'm gonna let him go. I appreciate his time.
All right. I'm going to get you to stick around for one more thing because we've got a new segment here on the Hong Kong Racing Show, thanks to our friends at World Pool, and it's the international highlight of the week. Here's our new sting for it. And not so much a highlight, but some interesting news for our World Pool highlight of the week this year. And it's Johnny V being booked to go to the Melbourne Cup on Parchment Party. This is the horse that, of course, won the Belmont Gold Cup at Saratoga during the first week of the festival there a few weeks ago. I think he was a main track only horse, if I remember correctly. The rain came, it was off the turf, and then they went and ran on the dirt. I thought at that point there was absolutely no chance in the world that that horse would be taking the win it in your end ticket to go to the Melbourne Cup, but he has, and Johnny V has since been booked. Umberto, I know this is a race that you would love to ride in one day.
Oh my goodness. As I said, I only been in Australia once riding a Geelong. It was a great experience, but you can smell it even at Geelong how people think about the Melbourne Cup. Gerald win the Melbourne Cup with the American. As he says, then he feels like Michael Jackson next to him was nobody at that time. So nobody cares about any stars. You're the stars of the moment, and can't believe it. Those. Kerry McAvoy, Damon Oliver, Mark Zara, those guys, they won already more than once, James, I think he won a Melbourne Cup too.
Yeah.
So it would be a dream come true to find the rides in the Melbourne Cup. I think it's one of those big races that you really want to put it in your book.
Yeah.
To win, it would be obviously a dream come true, but ready to participate. Only 24s they're allowed to run. Handicap system. So if any trainers, I'm open. So
lightweight.
Yeah, I can cut my legs too, even to ride 50 kilos over there. So no, as I said, following the races all around the world, the Melbourne Cup, it's one of the biggest races in the world, no doubt about it. Races stop a nation, so you want to be there. So hopefully Johnny's going to stay there for a week and really enjoy the time over there.
Yeah, well, the way it works, the Johnny V will be riding here at Del Mar at around 6 p.m, 7 p.m, the last race, and he's going to have to, I imagine, I'm not his travel agent, jump straight in a transfer to LAX. He'll get on a flight around 11 p.m, about 4 hours after he finishes riding here. It's a 2-hour drive to LAX. He gets on a flight to Melbourne. It's a 15-hour flight. He'll land around sort of 7 a.m, 8 a.m. on the Monday, and then ride in the biggest race in Australia about 24 hours.
So Johnny, don't worry about it. If you need to take off some rides
I got a guy for you, Johnny.
I'm okay with that. I got your back.
Awesome. When your father-in-law won the Melbourne Cup on American, I was a reporter for Channel 10, one of the local news stations there, one of the networks, and we went into the post-race media conference. And it was directly after the race, before he's done anything. And the host broadcaster waits for him to become available and gets him on set. It's part of the rules and all that kind of stuff. So it was a very quick post-race. And then he came down from stage, and I was standing there with my cameraman. You're not meant to do any sort of one-on-ones, but he kind of looked at me and I looked at him, and I just said, stuff it. Did a quick chat with him. It was awesome. Pieced a camera and everything. We sent it off to Channel 10. They put it on air before the host broadcaster got him on air. So I felt like a king, but not as big a king as what he obviously felt like as well, because that was just amazing.
Definitely.
He had the white gloves on? He had the white gloves on when he won? Is that why you were the white gloves?
No, not at all. I started to use the gloves in Hong Kong. I never used gloves before. Yeah, with the.
Why you snip the fingers off?
Because I like to feel the fingers as well. I feel the full gloves, it's only when it's raining, but I feel, and in the morning I really use it, but I really like to don't, I don't know, I feel my hands
you feel the
on the
better,
handcuff.
right?
No, but except that, but I feel on the handcuff, I don't really had that feelings. And Hong Kong, obviously I start riding because when the horses are sweating, the reins are really short, so they really can cut your fingers, you come back home,
your hands are wet,
sore, get your hands wet, so I start to use the gloves over there, but most of the time of winter time, I would say in Santa Anita, I never use it. I rather to have my hands free.
Interesting stuff. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for spending some time. Our first guest on the all-new Hong Kong racing show for the new season. We couldn't be happier.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Join us again sometime.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime you want, guys.
Have a great season.
Thank you.
Looking forward
From
to
Thailand at Jerry's house. We'll do a live feed from Jerry's.
Sounds good.
The day after.
All right, coming up next, we're going to take a look at some of the other races at Sha Tin on Saturday night as we look forward to the season opener. All right, well, we've already done a deep dive into race 3 on the card. That's Ka Ying Rising's race. But it's time to look at another one of the feature races on the card at Sha Tin on Saturday night local time. It's race 8, the Tai Mo Shan Handicap. And number 1, Fast Network, has been trialling pretty well heading into this and progressed nicely last season. Looks to have a good chance. 2, Pray for Mare, should be handy with Matthew Chadwick up. 5, Healthy Happy, always capable of running a good race fresh. Going down the list, number 8, Marquin, hasn't raced for a while, but always shows plenty of promise, well, showed plenty of promise last campaign anyway. What do you like here, Alex, as we have a look at the speed map on this screen?
Look, I'm going with Fast Network here in this spot with Zach Burton aboard. He's run well first up. I also like Happy Healthy, another one who's run well first up. And then I got in for third there, I got Chu Chow Spirit. And literally that's my theme for opening week here, is horses that have run well with trainers that have produced good results early on in the season. Yeah. And so those are 3 that I like, and I'll probably run that in Exacta Box. It's my favorite bet there in Hong Kong. Pick 3 horses, put them together, try to get 2 in the top.
Nice. Well, I'm actually with you, so we're aligned with our first race preview of the year. Number 1, Fast Network. I think it's a good sign that Dennis Yip is starting this horse over the 1400 metres first up as well, and gives me the impression that he's very happy with the horse. So Fast Network for me on top. Pray for Mur, I've got in for second. Should be dictating terms up front, and maybe to add a little bit of value to your trifecta, if you don't mind a trifecta, Marquin for me to add some value there. Should be double figures with any luck. My best bet on the card at Sha Tin on Saturday night for the season opener. I think it's going to be a big night for horses with the name Ka Ying. Ka Ying Resilience for me in race number 7. What about you? You got a best bet?
I don't know if it's a best bet, but it's a horse I'm going to look forward to is Family Fortune with Vincent Ho from the Casper Founds Barn. Just excited to see Vincent back on horses riding again. And hopefully the horse, Casper's done very well early in the season with horses, high winning percentage. So maybe it's not a live one there, and we'll kind of check the board and see if that's one that I'm going to play.
2 rides for Vincent on the season opener on Saturday night. Going to be great to see him back. We're going to have to get him on the show this season at some point. Well, what a great first show it has been. Awesome to have Umbi here. He's hilarious and so insightful as well.
The best, the best. He's got a future in broadcast journalism after he gets done riding horses.
I think we've said it before, we've got to get him his own podcast.
I think so.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for turning up as well and being a part of it. And we hope you enjoy the season opener from Sha Tin on Saturday night. Don't forget to follow us, HK Racing US on X. We'll put this show up there. It'll also be up on YouTube as well. Umbi mentioned it before, the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, hkjc.com. Just a terrific resource for everything you need to know about Hong Kong racing. If you're just joining us on this Hong Kong racing journey, you've got free PPs, replays, trials, expert picks, and everything that you could possibly want for. So check out that website, and we will see you next week for week 2 of the Hong Kong Racing Show.
Stay classy, Hong Kong.